everybody. Hi, how are you all doing? Do come in and join me. Sit down and get comfortable because today's video is going to be a full face of Estée Lauder makeup. And I've got some of my old favourites, my old classic Estée Lauder, tried and tested, tried and true products that I'm going to be using, plus a few new items as well that I've recently bought or bought this year at some point as well. So I just thought it'd be quite nice to mix it up a bit, sort of old and new favourites from Estée Lauder. The last Estée Lauder video I did was back in the spring, and that look was sort of more geared up to the spring and the summertime months. And obviously now we're well into the autumn and winter's getting closer, and I do use slightly different products at those different times of year. And Estée Lauder being one of my favourite brands, one of my favourite of the high-end brands, I just thought what better time than now to come on and just do a different look for you featuring Estée Lauder products. So let's get started, shall we? Let's put the headband in. There we go. So those of you on haircut watch, obviously I had my haircut recently and I hated it. It was a disaster. It's in its natural curly state today. So I washed it last night and I just scrunched it and diffused it, and this is what it looks like today, just for those of you who are interested in the hair. Now then, let's get started with foundation. So Estée Lauder's foundations are some of my all-time favourites, and they have been for many years, since I first got into makeup actually, back in the late 90s. Double wear, this classic. It's just amazing, isn't it? If you have oily skin, which I do, this is a godsend, and I know that it's loads of people's absolute all-time favourite foundation. And when I did my Estée Lauder video back in the spring, I did use this. However, if you have a drier skin or a more mature skin, I'm oily combination, and in the winter time I can get a little bit drier sort of on my cheeks and on the outside of my face. So I prefer a more hydrating foundation. So I'm not going to be using double wear today. Instead, I'm going to be using the Estée Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation, and I do find this a lovely hydrating. It's a more comfortable to wear foundation than the double wear for me in the winter, and I've got this in the shade 2C1 Pure Beige. And as usual, I will list all the products and everything that I'm using down in the description box in case you're interested. And I love this because it actually comes with its own pump attached. Whereas with this one, if you want the pump, you have to buy it separately, don't you? Which is annoying, isn't it? But this one, it's lovely. It comes in this lovely squeezy tube as well. So it's a lot more portable. It's a lot more travel friendly. So I do like the packaging of this one. So I'm just going to do a couple of pumps of that on the back of my hand. It's quite a liquidy, runny texture, as you can see. Going to go in with my Bailey foundation brush here. A bit of that on there, and just dab it all over my skin. And that Pure Beige in this foundation is a really, really lovely colour match for my skin. Look at that. Seamless, isn't it? But you do have to watch out with the Estée Lauder foundation colours, because I use the double wear, this one in Ecru, the 1N2 Ecru. So I just assumed that I would be Ecru in this foundation as well. But that's not the case. If you go into the store and just try them on your hand, you'll see that Ecru in this and Ecru in this are two completely different colours. So I'm Ecru in this and I'm Pure Beige in this. So get a sample if you're not sure. If you have double wear in a particular shade and you want to try this one, I'd get a couple of samples in different colours just to be on the safe side, because you know, we do assume, don't we, if it's the same brand, if it's the same company, you know, and they've got foundation shades with the same names, we do assume that they'll be the same colour. Quite naturally, I think that's a fair assumption to make, but it's not always the case. There we go. That's lovely. That's blended beautifully into my skin, and it does have a slight fragrance, very, very slight, It's not the same fragrance as Double Wear. Double Wear famously has like a paint smell to it, doesn't it? Which some people really don't like. Some people love it, but I know a lot of people don't like the smell of that. Whereas this one, there is a slight fragrance there, but it's not as strong, I don't think. I don't think it's as strong as the Double Wear fragrance. But that has really just smoothed out my complexion in a really quite natural, healthy way. I'd say it's a medium coverage. I don't particularly want to build it up any more than this today. Yeah, that's just about the right level of coverage that I want for today. Now for concealer, there's only one really that I like from Estée Lauder, and it's the new Double Wear concealer. I say new, it's not new now, is it? It came out earlier this year, but yeah, ever since it came out, it's been one of my all-time top favourite concealers, and I've got this in the shade 2C, which is a good colour match for me for concealer. And I love this. Lovely big doe foot applicator there, and it does slant up slightly at the top so that we can be quite precise with where we're putting it. Bit down there now. Marionette lines, they're a pain, aren't they, as we're getting older, goodness me. And I'm going to use this on my eyelids as well as a bit of an eyeshadow primer. So let's blend all this in. So how have you all been? Anyway, do let me know. I've been feeling a lot better lately. I know I did some videos where I just wasn't myself. I wasn't feeling right at all, and I did talk about it. And I said I think maybe the perimenopause has hit. And I spoke, which video was it? I think it was my Maybelline video. I spoke about some of the symptoms I've been having, and oh, is it time for HRT and all of that? Well, I had my appointment this morning at the doctor's, and we talked about it. Actually, she was really, really good. We went through all the different symptoms that I've been having, all of the different options, if I do want to go down the HRT route or not. But I did decide in the end that I do want to try it. So she's prescribed me some of the gel. So I'm going to give that a go and see how I get on with it. I can only try it, can't I? And if it doesn't work, I don't have to carry on with it. But I mean, the insomnia has just been the worst symptom for me so far. So anything that might help me to sleep would be a good thing. Now, there we are. That concealer is all blended in on top of that foundation. And that's just a really lovely canvas now, isn't it, for the rest of my makeup. Now, I don't have an Estée Lauder setting powder. I don't know why, really. They do one, don't they? Is it called Flattery, Sheer Flattery or something? Comes in a little square container. And they do a pressed powder. I believe that's called Lucidity. I have had that in the past, but I don't have it now. So because this foundation, this Futurist Hydra Rescue foundation, does need setting, I would say, especially if you have skin that's on the oilier side, like I do. I can get away without setting this one with powder. I find that this one sets itself, really. But when I use this one, I do like to use a loose powder, preferably, to set it. So today I'm going to use my Laura Mercier translucent loose powder just to set all of this in place. And I think when I've ran out of this, which isn't going to be anytime soon, I've got loads of it left, but when I do run out, I think I might try the Estée Lauder Sheer Flattery one, because I've just heard really good things about it. There we go. Not many people talk about it on YouTube, but those that do seem to really like it. So it's worth a try. But I find that the loose powders last me a long time. So I guess that's a good thing, isn't it, these days, to have things last a long time. Lovely. There we go. Yeah, that feels better now. It feels like it's nice and set down on my face now. So for bronzer, I've got the good old classic Bronze Goddess from Estée Lauder, and I love this. It's such a beautiful bronzer. I've got it in the shade 02 Medium, and I just love the finish of it. It looks quite dark, doesn't it? It looks quite deep in the pan. And I did buy this back in the summertime when maybe I was a little bit darker. But I'm going to go in with a fairly fluffy brush today. This is my Real Techniques 400. the denser the brush, the heavier the finish you get with these powder products. So I'm using quite a loosely packed fluffy brush because I want quite a diffused look. So I'm just going to go into it with this brush, tapping off any excess and just go in that cheekbone area. But I love it because I think it's got quite a cool tone to it. It's like a rosy bronze, isn't it, this colour? It's not too yellow at all, because I think sometimes with products like bronzers, it's not so much about the depth, you know, whether it's a light brown or a medium brown. It's more about the undertone, whether it's a yellow undertone or a rosy undertone. And I do find that I suit the more rosy toned bronzers, the sort of cooler tone bronzers. But look at that. That's lovely, isn't it? It's just added that nice bit of dimension to my face. And it doesn't go on as dark as it looks in the pan, does it? So there you go. Really, really like that. And because it's such a big size, this is going to last me forever. I mean, how much do you get in this? You get 21 grams. Does that say 21 grams? 21 grams? That's loads. This is going to last me the rest of my life, probably. That's good, isn't it? Okay, now blush is next, and this year Estée Lauder reformulated their blushes and their eyeshadows. And if I show you the old formula, so the packaging looked like this, and the packaging still does look like this, and these compacts are refillable as well. So if I show you the old formula, I've got it in the shade Sensuous Rose. And it looks like this. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. I've been talking about Estée Lauder blushes since I first started my channel because I think they're really, really highly underrated. And that's the old formula. The new formula here, it's in a different colour, but it's got this lovely embossing, this lovely square pattern embossed into it. This one is in the shade Pink Kiss. And they're even better. The formula is even better than the old formula, which I loved. They seem smoother somehow. They seem silkier, and they really do last on the cheeks all day as well. But because of the look that I'm doing today, I don't want to use the new one. I want to use my old formula because of the colour. I'm doing a green eyeshadow look today, so I think this colour will go best with the green eyeshadow look. But it's still a gorgeous blush, and I love it. Sensuous Rose, this one is. So look at that. It's quite a hard colour to explain because it's not peach. It's definitely not pink, but it's just like a neutral blush colour, really. But yeah, I love it. I think if I'm doing a more colourful eye look, I do tend to reach for this blush because I just think it doesn't fight with anything. It doesn't compete with anything. It's just a really, really easy to wear blush colour. And the pigmentation is fantastic as well on those. Highly recommend Estée Lauder blushes if you're looking for a new blush. Okay, now I'm going to fill in my eyebrows next. And I don't have an Estée Lauder brow pencil. No particular reason. I'm just into this Benefit one at the moment, the Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade number 3. So I'm just going to go over my microbladed area just to deepen them up a little bit. Yeah, I think it always looks better when I'm doing a full face of makeup if I just deepen up my brows a little bit. But I'm loving the microblading that I had done. I had it done back in August. Well, it was the top up. I had them done last year for the first time, and then I had them topped up at the end of August. And I did a whole video on it if you're interested in watching that process. And I show you, like, I take you through the healing time and the downtime and all of that. But I've been really pleased with it. It's just lovely on those days when you don't want to wear any makeup, just to already have your brows on. So I'll just comb through that with my spoolie. There, lovely. Right, now then, let me show you this palette, this eyeshadow palette, because I've been loving it. So I did tell you that they've upgraded their formula of eyeshadows this year. So this is the new packaging. This is the old packaging. Again, the packaging is identical, and they're still refillable, just like they always were. Oh, but this colour, what is this colour called? Money Moves, it's called. And it's gorgeous. Look at it. That deep forest green there. I mean, the pigmentation on them. Look at that. I mean, nobody would ever think that Estee Lauder eyeshadows were this good. I mean, it's not patchy. That looks patchy because that's but let me do it somewhere else. They're not patchy. I've got a bone there in my hand. That's why that's clung to that. Oh dear. Let me do it down here for you. But they're just gorgeous, aren't they? Look at that. And this lovely lighter, more sage green. Look at the shimmer on that. I've just been loving it since I got it. And this highlight shimmer shade here is beautiful as well. And as you can see with the new formula, they've got that same embossing on as the blush. You see that shade and that square pattern embossed on it. And the old formula of Estee Lauder shadows just looks like this. This is the grey one, but they're just smooth. They don't have any of that embossing on. But I mean, I've always liked Estee Lauder shadows anyway, but I really do think since they upgraded the formula this year, they are top notch now. Honestly, the pigmentation in these and the staying power and just how they look on your eyelids, I just think they're beautiful. So let me show you now. So I'm going to go into, they give you this transition shade as well in this palette, which I just think is really useful. Because if you don't get a shade like this, I end up using my bronzer just through the crease. So it's nice that we have that in here, isn't it? And I think Lisa Eldridge came out with a very similar colour scheme palette earlier this year. What was it called? Desert something, I think. What was it? Desert Gleam, I think it was. Yeah, Lisa Eldridge, beautiful. I did not get that one though. I know this is quite controversial, but I'm not a big fan of Lisa Eldridge powder eyeshadows. I like the liquid ones, the liquid silk and the liquid lurex, but I'm not a big fan of the powder ones. I just find them a bit too shimmery. They're a bit too shimmery for me. And I know some people love that, don't they? They love shimmery eyeshadows. But yeah, they're just not for me. And I know that's quite controversial because everybody loves them. But I prefer these. I prefer my Estee Lauder eyeshadows. And I never, ever hear anybody on YouTube talk about Estee Lauder eyeshadows. I've never seen this particular palette, this green palette by Estee Lauder. Never seen anyone talk about that on YouTube. And it's gorgeous. For the autumn, it's been one of my favourite palettes to wear in the autumn. Because, you know, if you have seen my videos before, you'll know I wear a lot of green. I love green, it's my favourite colour. And I've got green eyes as well. And I do love a green eyeshadow, especially at this time of year. But look how nicely that transition shade has just blended into my crease. Now, let's get to the fun part now. I'm going to go into this lovely sort of sage green colour. It's got just the right amount of shimmer in it. It's not a sparkly shimmer. You'll see. Let's just put this on with a short shader brush. Just going to apply it over my mobile lid like this, just so that when I close my eyes and when I blink, you just get a glimpse of that gorgeous shimmer, that green shimmer. It's so beautiful. So let me know, do you like Estee Lauder makeup yourself? Have you tried any of their eyeshadows? Maybe you tried some of their eyeshadows in the past and maybe you weren't blown away by the formula. And I wouldn't blame you really. In the past, their eyeshadows were not the best, but this new formula, I just think it's fabulous. And the colours are beautiful too. Now look at that. That is lovely, isn't it? I definitely wear this for a night out. Now this gorgeous highlighty colour here, let me find a clean finger. And I'm going to go into it with my finger. And just dab it over the inner corner. Just to give a nice little highlight, just to open up my eyes in there. And yeah, a bit more on the other side. thing with these shadows is this really will last all day. Or if I was having a night out, it really will last all night. Gorgeous. Now then, I'm going to go into this beautiful, deep, dark, emerald forest green on my liner brush. Take a bit of that in there. Just in that outer corner. Thicken up the lash line and just blend it upwards. Like that. Such a beautiful colour. And it was on sale at the moment in Boots as well. They're usually around £50, I think, these Estée Lauder palettes, but this was £42 when I bought it. And because I bought it from Boots, I got my Advantage card points as well. And I think they were on offer as well. I think I picked up more Advantage card points than usual. Oh, I've smudged that. That was my fault, that smudge. Oh no, oh dear. Just clean that up. Ah, tissue. User error, not the eyeshadow's fault. That was completely my fault. Right, there we are. Because I've got all these swatch marks on my fingers, haven't I? Anyway, I think that is absolutely beautiful. This palette is quickly become one of my favourites. And it's called Money Moves. Money Moves. And it's one of the Estée Lauder ones. And it's refillable. So when I've used this up, I'll just buy the refill. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, for an eyeliner, I've had in my collection for quite a long time one of the Estée Lauder Double Wear, what's this called? 24-hour waterproof something pencil. But this one, the green one, in the shade Emerald Vault. And these are beautiful. Have you seen these Double Wear eyeliners? They do a gorgeous, like, purpley one. I think it's called Aubergine. And if you like your blues, if you like blue eyeliners, they do one called Sapphire Sky, which is just, it's like the colour of this headband. Beautiful. But for today, I can't not use this. Look at that to go with this green look. It's beautiful. And they're great on the waterline as well. So I'm just going to go into my upper eyelid, just on that outer corner, coming across just like that. There we go. And a bit underneath as well. That is lovely. Same again on the other side. Oh yeah, and they really are properly waterproof as well, these liners. Once they've sort of dried and set down, they're on for the day. Lovely, isn't it? And I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go back to my liner brush and I'm going to take my palette. Where is it? Over here. Thought I'd lost it then. Going to take my palette again and I'm going to go into this lighter shimmery green. There. And I'm just going to run this underneath my lower lid. Just in that outer corner there. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, look at it. I need to go and wash my hands, don't I? So I don't keep doing that. Right, same again. Lovely. Really, really special that, isn't it? That's lovely. That's beautiful. Now, I'm just going to go and have a bit of a clean up and I'll be back in a minute. Please hold. That's better, isn't it? Now then, on to mascara. Now, as you will know if you've watched my videos before, because I've got oily skin and I've got hooded eyelids, I need either a waterproof or a tubing mascara, or else they just smudge and smear and they go all over the place and it's not attractive. Well, when I was in buying my eyeshadow palette, the lady gave me the small travel size, sample size, I guess, of the Double Wear, the Estée Lauder Double Wear Zero Smudge Lengthening Mascara. So I thought I'd use this in the video today, and I have used this in the past, and I think it is a tubing mascara. Now, there's nothing on it that says it's a tubing mascara, And when I did buy it years ago, there was nothing on the box that said it was a tubing mascara. It doesn't say it's waterproof either, but I think it is tubing. It behaves like a tubing mascara. It doesn't smudge on me. When you put warm water on it at night and you just go over your lashes, they come off in pieces. And that's usually the sign of a tubing mascara, isn't it? So I think it's a tubing mascara, even though it doesn't say it is. So there, it's just got that sort of wand. It's quite thin. It's quite a thin, short brush, which is nice. It means you can get all the way into those short, stubby lashes. I'm loving this eyeshadow colour. Really, really am. Beautiful. I think this is going to be my palette for this Christmas season. You know, if I do have any nights out or any parties, which is unlikely, but if I do, I think this will be my palette of choice. I just love green. Nice, isn't it? Nice and lengthening. Really nice dark shade of black as well, which is always nice. Yeah, I was glad she gave me this sample because I wasn't going to buy an Estée Lauder mascara. I'm not really buying high-end mascaras at the moment because I think you can get such good options at the drugstore. My current favourite is the L'Oreal Panorama in All Night Black. And I don't think you can beat that one. And, you know, for the price point as well, I just think it's the best. But if somebody's going to give me samples for free, then of course I'll try them and see what I think. It's nice. It doesn't beat my L'Oreal Panorama, but it's a nice mascara. So there we go. What do you think so far? Let's do some lips now. And for my lips, I'm going to first of all go in with my Double Wear 24-hour Stay in Place lip liner. One of these. And this one is in the shade Rose. 014 Rose, and it's one of those double-ended ones. You've got your little lip brush on that side and you've got your lovely creamy pencil on the other side. They are very, very creamy, these lip liners. They're very pleasant to use. Beautiful colour as well. It's not too pink, is it? It's not too much of a bright, vibrant pink. So again, it doesn't compete with the green eyeshadow. You know, it all just sort of blends in, which I love. And then for my lipstick, I've got one of these ones. And what are these called? I keep forgetting the name of these. It's like they're glossy, shiny sort of lip balm sticks. It's in the shade Out of Time. Pure Colour Explicit, it's called, in the shade Out of Time. And it's one of those creamy, shiny, balmy lipsticks. It's like that. So let me just put some of this over that pencil. Lovely. Yeah, that does feel really moisturising. Beautiful. I absolutely love this face of makeup. Especially standout product for me today. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? It's my eyeshadow palette in Money Moves. Absolutely glorious. I love it. And this foundation as well, the Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. A few of you have asked me what I think of this and if I use it, because you know I've got combination oily skin, and I do. I can use it. I wouldn't use it in the summer. I wouldn't use it in the height of summer when I'm at my oiliest, but certainly in the colder months it's really, really nice, and it feels lovely on my skin. So let's just release the hair. And there we go. What do you think? My full face of autumn-themed Estée Lauder favourites featuring some old and some new products. Well, do let me know, have you used any of these products? And if so, what do you think of them? What are your favourites? Do you like this green eyeshadow? Do you wear green eyeshadow? Let me know. Thank you so much for your time today, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.